to the Self Made Podcast. This is episode 2. I'm your host, Nash.
I'm Andres.
And today's topic will be discussing how do we balance our everyday life with like school, relationships, friendships, etc. Um, so what is the main issue you guys have encountered when dealing with you know, like going out with with everything. So like school, relationships, friendships, like work, like basically like your everyday lives. Like what is that? Like what is how do you go about doing that?
I think the main issue, I mean, like me personally, is getting everything done effectively and making sure that I prioritize the people that matter. Like I think for me, one of the main issues that I have encountered is making sure that I have time for the people that are around me. Sometimes I feel like I there's so many hours in the day, but I'm spending them doing like this and that. Like I'm working on myself, and then it's like I'm not there enough for the people around me. That's one of the main issues that I've encountered when dealing with balancing my everyday life. What about you, Akeem?
I don't have a balance whatsoever. Always last minute with everything. So balancing, I'm still working on that, you know. But for the most part, I try to, create a schedule, try to follow it, try to wake up and at a certain time that will get me started on the day, you know. But I'm still working, trying to balance.
How about you, Nash? Like, what's the main issue you encounter when you're dealing with this?
For me, it's mostly like time management and like communication. Like I find that I'm not very good when it comes to communication when it's based off of like if I'm supposed to go somewhere or do something, I forget to like either put like reminders for myself or let the person know that I'm going to be late. Like um it's a habit of mine that I'm slowly starting to break out of. And I always trying to like make sure that I get up earlier than I'm supposed to rather than just going straight into it and being like, oh, like I know I'm gonna be late, but I'm not gonna let them know that I'm gonna be late until like I get a call and be like, hey, yo, like where are you? Um, I rather I try to like get up early, try to do everything, like figure out like what I'm doing, so I'm like prepared rather than just like struggling to like figure out what I need to do in like a short period of time, and then still end up being late or being unprepared for the day at hand.
Do you ever think that, like, because obviously we have work, whether that's one or two jobs, we have school if you're in school, and we have like friends, and we have a relationship if you're in one. Like, do you find that it's like hard to balance? Like, say for example, like seeing your partner and then seeing your friends, but at the same time knowing that you have a lot of like school work to get done. Do you think, like, what's your process? How do you deal with that?
So, well, for for school, I would just focus on like my schoolwork first, and then try and see if like I could rearrange like a day in my schedule where I can go and hang out with my friends for like not that long, but like a certain period of time where it's enough for like all of us, like depending on what how many of us are in the group, to like have a day where we can just go out, have a good time, catch up for a little bit because they possibly in school are working, So it all depends on like wrapping, like coming together and like coming up with like a good schedule where no one's being left out and like the communication is there amongst the group. Same thing goes for like relationships. Like your partner should know that like you're in school, they're in school, so there's not gonna be like a specific day or time where you guys are gonna like be able to like meet up and like, go out on a date or just enjoy each other's company, because one person, well, not person, but like you or her, depending on who you're with, they could have like a heavy course load, so that, you know, causes them not to be able to spend time with you as much as they'd like. So it's difficult in the relationship and could cause conflict. So it all depends.
Have you guys ever found yourself in a situation where you have so much things that you have to balance and you find yourself prioritizing one thing over everything else and neglecting everything else? Have you guys ever found yourself in a situation like, for me, for example, personally, sometimes I find myself that I'm so focused in like I guess you can say like bettering myself in like my career that I neglect like my family and like my relationship. Do you guys ever find yourself in that situation?
I do. And when I do think about it, I don't really think about it that way. I think about it in a way where I'm not neglecting, but I'm thinking, my there's another time I can do it. Technically, I am, but I'm thinking, okay, I can spend more time on this right now, and I will, continue or start this maybe tomorrow or in the next few hours. You know,
But I always kind of like, I always try to manage it, but I'm not gonna lie, there are times where I can't even do it, and like push everyone, like I push on everyone just so I can focus on like what I'm doing, because I need to like focus on that first. 'Cause I know myself personally, if I don't focus on what I'm supposed to be doing, I'm not gonna get it done. So I just block people out. Like whoever I need to block out, I block them out, and just focus on what I gotta do.
I have a question. So since we're speaking, what do you guys consider a tip to?
Like to go about it?
Yeah, a tip to balance your life with everything that's going on.
Oh, like for me, I would say time management. Like I'm a huge like I think time management is like so important. I think divide your time effectively. Like I feel like you find yourself wasting, like at least me, like I find myself wasting so much time where I could be productive. Like for me, time management is important for me. Prioritizing is important as well. Like Nash said, like for schoolwork, obviously for schoolwork there's due dates which obviously push you to meet those deadlines. But then you also gotta think about like, because Nash was saying that he sometimes blocks people out. I don't know. Like I feel like sometimes like that in the time can look like a solution, but at the same time, it's like if you're blocking people out, that means you're pushing people away from you. You know what I mean? Like when people want to be there and you don't let them be there, it's hard, right? So that's why I mean like prioritize and like don't make people feel like they don't matter. Will be one of my things that I would do.
Okay, for me, that's a really tough question. I guess not do what I did. Don't be. It's like the same thing that Andre said. Like, don't be blocking out like your loved ones, because like you don't know. Like with you blocking out like people, you never know what they're really going through. And then like, what if you're like that one person that like they can talk to about like what's going on in their life and like how they're feeling and stuff like that, and they really need you, but you're not there for them, and then like they feel like a type of way, like they feel alone, and like that no one's out there like looking for them, which could like affect them like with their daily lives and also like their mental health. depending on what the situation may be in their current life. But yeah, it's not a good thing to do. So I would just say, you know, communicate with your loved ones when you can, like when you have time, rather than just put everything into work because you don't want to tire yourself out. So just give yourself time to like relax and um, be able to enjoy yourself rather than overworking yourself.
I
Yeah,
shall,
no, yeah.
huh?
No, go ahead, go ahead.
I shall take your tips into consideration and try to put them into my life and see how it
My
to that. How helpful it was.
See, my main advice, and like not like for everybody, like obviously for you guys, is like be there, like when necessary. Like don't like forget about the people that are around you and need you. Like be in the moment, because sometimes I feel like me personally, like I could be with, like say I could be with my family, but then my mind is thinking about, okay, well I'm here now, and then I have work tomorrow when I could be doing something like, productive. But at the same time, it's like being with your family is also productive, right? So like my main advice for people will be like, be there, and like enjoy the moment, be present, because like you never know what's gonna happen, anyways. And yeah, do you guys have anything else to add about balancing our everyday life?
No, that's about it for me.
Yeah.
Very good. All right. Well, that was the second episode of Self Made, guys. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram. We'll be posting on YouTube and on Spotify as well. Please send us questions if you guys have any. We'll go over the questions, and if you guys want us to spend more time on certain topics, let us know. It's kind of keep it nice, and don't forget to tune in next week for the next episode. It's been your host Andres,
Ash?
And I can
and we'll see you in the next episode.